Okay, so one of the most common requests that we get here related to family law, that's divorce, child custody, any of those types of family law situations, is how am I supposed to deal with this I cannot afford an attorney? I've been thinking about going through a divorce for a while, but my spouse is the one who earns all the money. I'm not going to be able to find money to hire an attorney. I know I'm paying more child support than I should. What can I do? I don't have money to afford an attorney. So what we're doing today is, this is a video that's going to give you some options. How can you proceed with a divorce? How can you proceed with any family law case if you do not have the money to hire an attorney? Number one, make your spouse pay. And you could also insert, make the other party pay if it's not a divorce case. Under Florida law, there's a statute that requires the party who has the ability to pay for attorney's fees to help the party who has the need for help with paying for attorney's fees. So what that looks like is, if a party makes 2 times as much as the other party, more often than not, there will be a strong likelihood that the person who makes more income will have some exposure for an attorney fee award being required to pay the other party's attorney's fees. Now, it may not be all of it, may not be 100%, maybe 50% of the attorney's fees. But there's a statute in Florida and in most states that is meant to put the parties on an even playing field in terms of being able to afford a lawyer. Now, if your incomes are similar to one another, or if one party is paying spousal support or child support that makes the incomes a lot more even, that's one of those factors that might be taken into account by the court to indicate that an attorney fee award is not appropriate. And then, of course, most things in law are settled out at some point, and it's not a court deciding. And so a lot of times people will settle. If one party knows that they've got exposure to have to pay all of the other party's attorney's fees, they might come to an agreement to pay 2/3 or 3/4 of the other side's attorney's fees in an effort to reduce their risk. So that's number one, is make your spouse pay. Number two, you can look for a volunteer attorney. There are a lot of attorneys that do work on a pro bono basis. There are a lot of attorneys that aren't really family lawyers or divorce lawyers, but they'll take 1 or 2 pro bono family cases per year. Now, because we do a lot of family law and divorce law, we do pro bono cases in other areas of the law. There's every now and then we'll do a pro bono case, but if we can't do it, we'll refer folks to the Florida Bar or the Tallahassee Bar Association. They maintain a list of lawyers who've signed on to do some pro bono work, and there you can get either a free lawyer or a free consultation or a low-cost consultation to get an idea of what your options are. The challenges with looking for a volunteer attorney or a pro bono lawyer is, most of the time there's going to be a waiting list. And so I know, for example, the Tallahassee Bar Association, you sign up to be on their waiting list to get a volunteer attorney, and you might be waiting several months, but then again, if you've got the time to wait, you're not going to be able to put the money together otherwise. A pro bono lawyer is also a good option. So we've discussed the option of making your spouse pay. We've discussed the option of obtaining a pro bono lawyer. Last but not least, negotiate a settlement without a lawyer. And we'll put a link right down here to a site right on our website where we've got a directory of every single state in the United States and the website that you can go to get free self-help family law forms. So for a divorce or any other kind of family law case, for example, in Florida, the Supreme Court publishes forms that they have already decided are appropriate forms to use in family law cases, and they're meant to be self-help forms. A lot of lawyers use those as their starting point in drafting the pleadings that they put before the court. So these are good documents. There's nothing wrong with it. And you can go and read the instructions. And I always tell people, make sure you put aside some time to really read the instructions. Make sure you're not making, there's plenty of different places that you can make mistakes if you don't read things carefully. But read it carefully and then use the forms. So you've got the option, depending on what state you're in. There's generally a comprehensive volume of forms that you can use to help yourself in family law cases if you can't afford an attorney. And then you can just approach your spouse or whoever the party is on the other side and say, hey, let's try to save the money on attorneys. There's these forms I've downloaded. Let's try to work our way through these forms and see if we can come to an agreement. A lot of times people will do that, and then they'll come to the attorney, and what we'll do as the attorney involved is just kind of review everything that they've put together, make sure that it's been done correctly, give them some advice on how they might want to go through the process. A lot of times we'll spot problems that they didn't think about with how they've come to an agreement, or issues that might come up down the road that they haven't addressed. But again, they're saving a lot of money on attorney's fees by starting the process themselves. So we've gone through 3 options. 1, make your spouse pay. 2, find a pro bono attorney. Or 3, use your state's approved family law forms and try to come to a settlement with the other party without involving lawyers. When in doubt, call Liebenhaut. Liebenhaut Law. We are here to help you out with whatever your legal need may be, whether it's something we specialize in, disability, that's Social Security, long-term disability, family law, divorce, child custody, any of those types of issues. We are happy to help you out. If your cousin has an issue with a car wreck, your girlfriend's got an issue and needs a criminal lawyer, give us a call. You're in the North Florida, South Georgia area. We are happy to connect you with somebody who'll be able to help you out in the event that we can't do it. Thank you.